Good morning, everyone. If you could come in and get your seats, we'll get started. Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the 2023-2024 academic year. This is the 56th opening of this college, and I am so pleased and excited to have you here. So thank you so much for joining us in person, and thank you also to those of you who are joining us online, because I know you're busy serving students and all that service is really appreciated. This summer went by way too fast. I know we've probably heard that 4 times already in the atrium, but it means that we're ready to start another exciting school year. And it's always fun to get ready for a new school year. If you're a parent, you know that you're out buying new outfits and school supplies, and kids are excited to see the friends that they missed and excited to meet new friends. And some of these things are applying to us as adults too. I am really excited about this academic year for a few important reasons. Number one, we are gaining our momentum back as a college. Our enrollment was up 10% this summer, and yeah, that's worth applause. And as of Monday, our new student enrollment was up 6%. So we are definitely trending in the right direction. Yeah. We're making good progress on our strategic plan, and we're finding the right balance between online, hybrid, and face-to-face instruction. Our student success programming is making a real impact. Initiatives that include success coaching, the Jump Start program, Comeback Bearcats, they're making it possible for students to be successful. Another reason I'm excited is that our Career Services Office is offering more opportunities than ever for our students through internships, co-ops, job shadowing, and new connections to the business community. We're adding new degree programs this fall in healthcare support technician, and artificial intelligence that will provide new opportunities for our students to meet demand in the workplace. Another reason I'm excited is Phase 5 of the month's renovation that's going to start this year in January. It will be loud and messy, to be sure, but it will be awesome when it's finished. It will really transform the entrance to our building and the student experience. So I'll have more details and some pictures of Phase 5 reno in a little bit. Our students, of course, are always a reason for us to get excited. It's so inspiring to meet new students and to learn about what they're trying to achieve or what they're working to overcome. And it's just extremely gratifying to watch them gain confidence to take their next steps toward their goals. So last weekend, I got the opportunity to shake the hands of students walking across the graduation stage at summer commencement, and I never get tired of that. It's really so gratifying to watch their families cheer for them. It's why we're all here today, getting ready to start a new year and welcome those faces to the classroom, offices, and departments around our campus. And another reason I'm excited about this new year is because of our UC Blue Ash team. I am so fortunate to be on this team of faculty and staff with you. You make it a joy to come to work. Believe it or not, you really do. To navigate the challenges that we face, to celebrate our wins, and to join together every day to support and inspire students. So thank you so much for all that you do to support our students, our college, and also each other. You truly are an amazing team. And that's even more exciting than the new fresh school supplies. So I know our librarians are always with me in the excitement for a brand new, fresh-smelling, pristine notebook. But our team is even better than that. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce some of our new team members. I am excited for them to find out why we love to work here. Potentially. Okay, so in our advising crew, you'll welcome Travis and Javen. And they've been with us for a while now and seem like old timers, but this list of our new faculty and staff members are people who joined us in this last academic year. So welcome Travis and Javen. And please stand so that people can recognize you. Thank you. Also from our advising group, we welcome Samantha and Rob. I can tell Rob likes that kind of recognition, so we'll be sure to do that more today. And Emma Farrow, our instructional designer. Welcome to Eric Carrero and Katie Peeler on our academic support team. I love the woos, the woo, that makes me so happy. Lauren Johnson. Also on our academic support team. Second or third week maybe for Lauren? Very new. Daniel Mazur in Allied Health. Daniel will be in our healthcare support technician program, so we're excited to have him on the team. Matthew Klooster and Zachary Zaleski in biology. TJ Heiser is going to be joining us in a few short weeks as our new senior HR director, so we're excited to welcome TJ. Desiree Gonzalez will join us from CAPS, the Counseling and Psych Services Center uptown. She'll be our mental health counselor on our campus starting on the 28th. Marianne Rafai, visiting assistant professor in chemistry. Welcome, Marianne. Carolina DeSalvo in communications. Thank you for all your work this morning already, Carolina. Clayton and Pearson join our English and Communications department. Welcome. Facilities management, Cavell and Mark. As well as Scott on our facilities team. They've been very hard at work all summer getting things ready for you. We have new faces in our math, physics, and computer science department. We welcome Ahmed and Hannah in our math lab. Welcome. In nursing, Kristen Tenney joins us as assistant professor. Student life, Jimmy, veterans program coordinator, and Gabrielle Kroger is our new program director for TRIO. And Radhika Chitnis, also with the Student Affairs Group in testing services. Vet Tech, we welcome Christy Gaffigan. And some position changes too. Brittany is moving into a visiting assistant professor role in biology. Josh Monson in January moved into an assistant professor role in business. Smita moved into an assistant professor role in chemistry. Jessica Baker-Reibold into an educator specialist role, and Olivia Gray-Schumont into a clinical instructor role in dental hygiene. Also in dental hygiene, Molly moved into an assistant professor role. Stella Lugan was promoted to senior specialist in enrollment services. Stella's surely won online because she's in the middle of serving students right now. Austin was promoted to his role in facilities management. In language and culture studies, we welcome Gail Maui and Amy Stoltz. Pam Adler was promoted to program manager in our library. In math, physics, and computer science, Jeff Korn is our academic tutor, and Bogdan Liu will be assistant professor this year. Also in math, Todd Majestic and Chuck Theodo are also represented adjuncts. Dr. Brad Mallory joins us as Assistant Dean of Inclusive Excellence in the Dean's Office. So glad to have Brad in this role. In Rad Tech, Olivia has been promoted to Assistant Professor, and Cecile will join us as Assistant Professor Educator. Welcome. In student life, Hannah was promoted to Associate Director for Student Success. In Vet Tech, Alana was promoted to Senior Lab Associate. And I said it right, right? And we have new academic unit heads this year, and we say both congratulations and condolences to Mark Tran in biology, Sherry Barksdale, language and culture studies, and Melissa Setzer in nursing. So everyone, thank you for taking on the new responsibilities associated with these roles. This college would not run without your ability to take on the extra work of leadership, and we are so grateful for your work. Next, I want to go through some other reasons to celebrate, and that is our faculty promotions and tenure. So keep up the applause and the wooing. So Brian Hunter was promoted to Associate Professor. Way to go, Brian. Also promoted to Associate Professor, Stacy, Jen, and Jessica. Also promoted to Associate Professor, Anna, Yelchin, and Lori. Promoted to rank of Professor, Alex, Rachel, and Angela. Congratulations. No more RPT folders. It's a beautiful feeling. And Bob, Lizzie, and Lisa. Monica and Daniela. Congratulations also. And now even more reasons to cheer and celebrate our distinguished award winners from last year. We will be celebrating our award winners at the ceremony, and they will receive their awards on Thursday, September 28th. So the evening of Thursday, September 28th. Be on the lookout for your official invitation. For the faculty awards, Jessica Ferguson was awarded the Faculty Exemplary Scholarship Award, and Drew Shade was awarded the Faculty Innovative Teaching Award. Congratulations, Jessica and Drew. Outstanding Faculty Service for Suzanne Bradshaw, and Faculty Inclusive Excellence Award goes to Michelle Kenny. An Honored Adjunct Award goes to Jeff Fox. The Provost Awards this year for mentoring and overall excellence go to Sue Sipple and Heather Moore. The Staff Awards. Our staff outstanding contributions and the Distinguished Service Awards go to Chuck and Jason for the amazing work they did. They saved Walters Hall from the tremendous leak, despite the fact that our damage total for Walters Hall, that freeze event and the subsequent flooding, is over $500,000 of damage. And it would have been so much worse if not for the work that they did over the holiday week to contain it. We're so grateful for their efforts. The Staff Rising Star Award goes to Hannah Thompson. We'll celebrate that. And the Student Centered Award goes to Lainey Ipsa. And the Alumni Award goes to our very own Diane White. All right, next we're going to move in to some general updates of things going on this year and what to expect. There probably won't be as much wooing, I'm just going to warn you. But there are things to celebrate, right? I want to point out some of the really hard work and impressive improvements the facilities management team has been making over this last year. You know, not only did they deal with the huge freeze repair, they also dealt with water main breaks in Muntz Hall, the annex ceiling repair, sewer drain repair. They finished these wood structures. They were supposedly made out of this expensive African teak that would never need to be refinished. But something happened and they did need to be refinished. But they look so much better now. And Muntz 117, Learning and Teaching Center renovation. Muntz exterior LEDs, you'll see new and improved lighting, vet tech HVAC issues, roof repairs, pathway lights, and they got a new gator and a truck. And soon we'll have 3 high-flex classrooms that will make it easier to do both in-person and online teaching. In addition, related to facilities, we have the new farmer's fridge machine was put in this year, and we have a new coffee machine that will be turned on next week, so that when the line is long, people can still have some food offerings, and we're gonna get a pizza vending machine too. I think Uptown is just sick of hearing me complain about the food options, so they're doing some small things to help improve those. And related to our food efforts, be sure to give congratulations to Karen and Tara, who work in our cafe. They work so hard, and this year they were recognized by the Hamilton County Health Department with a Clean Kitchen Award, and we're all grateful for that. So please thank them for their hard work, because they're part of the Blue Ash team too. Speaking of the Blue Ash team and where we are, it's hard to keep track of the centralization and all of the decisions that have been made at the university level about reorganizing departments. So this slide shows you which units, though they serve students here on our campus and work with us closely, they actually report to supervisors and have budget lines that go downtown. So in enrollment management, enrollment services, formerly One Stop, reports up through Jack Minor's area in enrollment management. The admissions team does as well. Our admissions team has had some significant turnover lately, and they are in the process of hiring our new associate director and working on our new recruiters. So we will be introducing our new admissions team in the next month. CCP is also handled centrally now. We used to have a CCP advisor who reported to the college. In the areas of student affairs, we have Uptown partners from CAPS with their embedded counselor who reports to CAPS, testing services, accessibility resources, and the TRIO grant technically run through student affairs Uptown, even though their staff are here and serve students here. In addition, facilities, it has been centralized, and that's a central budget. Institutional research is centralized, parking is, and effective October 1st, our IT unit will be centralized. And we don't have all of the details yet about how that will affect our budgeting and decision making, but we do know that our staff in IT will be reporting centrally effective October 1st. So as we work with our centralized partners, we find sometimes new challenges or processes that don't line up with how we like to do things at Blue Ash, and it requires working through and negotiating through these things. Each of these decisions is not entirely bad or entirely good. I mean, there are pros and cons and trade-offs, and I just appreciate your patience as we all figure out how to work through this reorganization and negotiate the best solutions for our students. There's some additional movement I want you to be aware of in terms of where people are housed and where offices are housed. So Assistant Dean of Inclusive Excellence Brad Mallory is in the Dean's Suite. Trish Jansing in the business office is being moved to the Cube area next to Christy Otten. The Foundation Director of Development, Andy Baker, is going to move into the Dean's Suite. We will be hiring our new Director of Student Life. Those interviews will be happening the last week of August, and you'll be invited to some of those open forums. That person will go to Enrollment Services. The office will be there in Andy's old office. We have a CAPS counselor, and they moved a few times last year. It looks like this year we're going to have that person be in months 112KC in the computer concourse area. The coaches are still going to be in the 112EE area off the computer concourse. Byron Walton moved to a slightly different position in institutional research and will be uptown now. And then a change of responsibilities. Title IX responsibilities used to live with Molly Scruta, and now Tamisha Corbin will be leading Title IX for the college and helping through those issues. And Tamisha, as you know, is in the dean's office. Next, month's Phase 5 renovations. Woo. Cautious woo, right? I mean, we're excited. So the plans are being finalized, and they've selected a contractor for Phase 5. It is happening. Like, it is on the in-progress list at the provost office rather than the hopefully we'll get to do it list, which is very exciting. So Phase 5 renovations happens in the first floor of months. It happens on the 150s wing where the classrooms are now and the trio offices are now. That entire wing is going to be taken down to the studs, and it's going to create a student services area that includes advising, career services, enrollment services, mental health counseling, the food pantry, and there'll be a conference room that those groups can use as well. So that entire wing from where communications is, that classroom on down, is going to be completely rehabbed, and the bathrooms, of course, too, to make this convenient, co-located student services wing. The other important part of Phase 5 renovations is the atrium. So where our courtyard is, where the bridge is in Muntz, right? That bridge that connects the two third-floor wings, that area underneath will be the atrium. We're roofing over it. There'll be big skylights in the roof, and then glassing down from the bridge. It will be seating area for about 180 students, plus 5 glassed-in group study rooms right under the bridge. That'll be a great space for us to hold some of our events. And most importantly, student social space, which you remember how crowded the commons gets during prime time and the hallways get. Our students need a place to park and work, and this will give it to them. Finally, the area that's currently enrollment services, formerly known as One Stop, will become student life. So that a lot of our student activities and the liveliness of the college will be front and center when people walk in. The glass wall between the One Stop Enrollment Services waiting room and the atrium will be intact and there will be doors so that we could close off the atrium for events if we wanted. So here are some of the renderings of the atrium. Ooh. So you see the glassed-in study rooms under the bridge. Here's another angle. Ooh. And yet another angle from the outside. So demolition starts in January. And it's always a little loud and a little messy. We try to deal with problems as they come up to try to contain it. They'll maintain corridors, how they do, and walkways so that we have appropriate entrances and fire exits available. Yeah. It'll be through this atrium. There are, in between the glass, on the ends of the glass study rooms, there are doorways. So you'll be coming in through the atrium. This will be the main entrance to Muntz Hall. Okay. So in addition to getting Muntz Hall planned, renovation planned, another thing that I think we can be really proud of going into this academic year is the hiring that's been accomplished over the last year. I know so many of you have served on search committees, and it's really important work to find colleagues who are as devoted to students as we are. So thank you so much for all your work in search committees. You can see by this chart how much work has gone into these searches over the last few years. I want to point out that the number of tenure-track faculty is higher than it's been since 2015. We are at 162 tenure-track faculty, and that is despite the fact that we have a few hundred fewer students than we had in 2015. And I think that says a lot about our commitment to full-time teaching and our commitment to hiring faculty who embrace the teacher mission, scholarship, and service to this college. You'll see overall the number of full-time faculty is at an all-time high of 188 faculty. And so we've been able to do this despite the fact that we had this huge budget hole over the last 2 years since our big COVID dip. And I'm proud of that, and I hope you are too, because all of the hiring and the work and the advocacy of the department chairs and the work of the hiring allowed this to happen. I think another thing to be proud of is our student satisfaction results. This graph depicts the results from the CESI survey. It's the Community College Student Satisfaction Inventory, given out to two-year colleges. It's especially designed for two-year colleges. So last year's results are in the red. And you'll see that we are higher than last year on our active learning and collaborative learning ratings. So this composite comes from maybe 8 or so questions about the types of things they do in and out of class. Do they discuss things with their peers? Do they participate in group discussions? Do they have big projects? Do they engage in service learning? Those types of things. Notice that we are way higher than the cohort, the other CESI cohort, and the medium-sized colleges around our size. So that one is definitely something to celebrate. When we look at the student effort column, that is how much reading and preparation and study time do they put in? How hard do they have to work on different types of assignments? Are they being asked to integrate knowledge and do big research papers? So how much academic challenge do they have? We are up slightly from 2017, and we are still well above our cohorts, which is exciting. In the student-faculty interaction column, we are really close to where we were in 2017, which I think is pretty impressive given that we have a lot more online learning than we had in 2017. So even though that bar is about level, I still think that's a win, that we're maintaining our higher level of student-faculty interaction. And then supports for learners, this one we're a little bit down, and I'm not quite sure why. One of the items that we were down on was financial support to students. We're giving more scholarships to students than ever before. We have emergency relief funds that we didn't have before, and we're getting bill relief from enrollment management that we've never had before. So I'm surprised that it's a little bit down. It may just be, tuition has gone up and students may be expecting more help. So that might be a reason why we're down slightly, but we're still ahead of the cohort. And so way to go, way to be above average, everybody. The next survey results I want to show you briefly are the Community Engagement Survey. This is out of Bluesette Marshall's Office of Inclusion and Community Engagement. This is a nationally normed survey. We are looking for 100% outstanding ratings on this community experience survey. We'll see the results from other colleges here. I know this is kind of small. We'll pull out the Blue Ash results here in a minute. The dark blue is good. The light blue is pretty good. Pink and orange aren't great. That's kind of the take-home message. The columns and the composites of these survey items, one is for belonging, which is pretty self-explanatory. Agency is whether you feel equipped to report or deal with episodes of bias. Cultural competence, I think it's funny that it's always one of the highest ratings because, of course I'm culturally competent. People rate themselves pretty high on that. Accountability is how you feel like your supervisor will deal with episodes of bias, and will it be dealt with appropriately? And then career satisfaction is the last item, and that has to do with whether your supervisor cares about you, whether you have the tools and the resources that you need to do your job, and professional development opportunities. That goes into career satisfaction. So let's expand the Blue Ash numbers here, that we have some work to do in agency and maybe accountability, and career satisfaction also has significant work to be done, and worth looking at that a little more closely. If you look at the survey on the surface, it looks like, hey, we're doing pretty good as a college, and I think we are, and we're pretty close to where all the other colleges are. One area that gives us pause and makes us recognize we have a lot more work to do is this item. In the last 18 months, have you experienced bias, discrimination, or harassment? 13% of people in our community said yes, they've experienced this in our community. And I think that's a number worth taking very seriously, that we still have work to do, and I'm looking forward to the progress that we're going to make this year in doing it, to get that number down to absolutely zero, and the important work of the inclusive excellence area. Okay, items of university focus this year. We are 5 years into the Next Lives Here plan, into that strategic direction. The provost is specifically focusing on student success, interested in piloting different initiatives for student success. In every meeting, talks to colleges about their retention rates, their graduation rates. And so that presents us some opportunities because that aligns with areas of our strategic plan where we put a lot of time and energy. Research funding is way up at the university. I think it's up 100 million. Yes, I think it's up 100 million. It's really up. And as part of Next Lives Here, there is new attention being paid to the resources that graduate students have. They've had increases in their insurance and their funding to help them be successful. The university is focusing on cybersecurity. You will notice this because you're going to have a lot more updates and restarts on your computer. If you haven't been here most of the summer, guess what? You have about 3 hours worth of updates on your computer. So do them before the first day of class, and don't ignore those restarts, because eventually Dale's going to get you and he's just going to restart it on you. So please restart those computers when you're pinged to. It is part of the university emphasis on cybersecurity, which is an important risk to take seriously right now. The university is paying a lot of time, attention, and money into digital futures, 1819 Innovation Hub, and also the Bearcat Promise, which our advisors are very familiar with. The university is putting out a new platform for non-credit offerings, so like continuing education offerings, workshops, things that are being offered at the university. So it'll make it a lot easier for us to be able to do those things without having to recreate a whole new website and a whole new system for offering those things. We have big, important searches at the university level, UC Online, the Vice President of Student Affairs, several dean searches. The university will be watching SB 83 closely. It was taken out of the budget bill in the state of Ohio, but it's coming back this fall. So we are waiting to see what's going to be in Senate Bill 83. There is going to be a new budget model for fiscal 25, and the details are barely starting to trickle in, and I'm working closely with Diane to figure out how we position ourselves to be in a good place to make that transition. We are still on performance-based budgeting for this current fiscal year, and that's why we're so excited that we are up 6% and hope that that holds, and think it's very important to get as many of our incoming students in as we can. And then growth goals. The university is focused on growth goals. Importantly, noting that the point of growth is not just for more money, more buildings. The point of growth is for impacting our community, our region, creating a well-educated citizenry of Ohio. It's not just for money. That growth goal is aggressive, and it's going to push all of the colleges to do whatever they can to grow enrollments. So what are some college activities this year? We still have $1.4 million left on our payback plan from our big COVID dip in 2021 and 21-22. This is down from $3.5 million. So we've made incredible progress while keeping the number of full-time faculty higher than it's ever been. So I think that's something to celebrate. We're getting new coils and a new elevator in Walters at some point. I think the elevator installation will happen in December. We're going to try to time it exactly in between classes because it's the only elevator in that building, unfortunately. Brad's going to be working hard to implement the plans in the $90,000 Inclusive Excellence Grant, launching the new programs that I mentioned earlier, increasing co-ops and job shadowing. We're crossing our fingers and holding our breath on 2 big Department of Ed grants this year. Thank you, Judy Singleton, for all of your work on these grants. Woo, yeah, woo. We're hiring a new director of student life and a new success coach. We're going to have the NASAD accreditation visit for art and visual communication and our media communication technology departments. We have new external grants for some of our students. State of Ohio is giving these fellowship grants to social work and nursing students. And students in our one-year programs like EFTA and medical assisting are eligible for workforce grants, YO grants. So we're going to help our students get those resources. In fundraising, among a million other things Andy's doing, he is prioritizing dental chair replacement and nursing sim equipment and already making some progress on that fundraising. The English Convocation group will be coming back to support our ESL students. A neurodivergent student group is starting. We will be adjusting to the centralized IT changes, thinking about the implications of our new budget model, and we do have a student printing change. This kind of goes along to the centralized IT. You know, we used to be able to pay for a certain number of prints that students could get for free, but we have moved to the university system where students now have to pay 9 cents a page for printing. They swipe either their Bearcat card or a credit card at the printing station. There's going to be one in the Commons and one in Walters where students swipe to pay to print. So it's important if you assign students to turn in printed documents that you give them enough forewarning so they can plan ahead for printing and practice. If you have a lot of printing in your class, you really want to consider a course pack. They can be done a lot less expensively. Our next update comes from two of our students, Liz Guckian and Will JJ, and they're going to talk to us about the Bearcat Pantry. It's nice to see some students at Convocation. That's always been a missing part. Thanks.
Hey y'all, how you guys doing? Thank you, Dean. Yep. So, today we're going to be talking about college student food insecurity, the invisible epidemic, and we're just going to be talking about the Bearcat Pantry to just give you guys more information. Okay. So behind me are some stuff that some students have been saying about the Bearcat Pantry. One of my favorite is that there's good vegetarian options.
And students also say that the Bearcat Pantry is extremely supportive. Will, what's your favorite part of the Bearcat Pantry?
Probably the Pop-Tarts. What's yours?
I mean, I really like the Chick-fil-A sauce. They also have frozen chicken nuggets in the freezer. Warm up the chicken nuggets, Chick-fil-A sauce, boom, it's Chick-fil-A.
Okay, yes.
All right, food insecurity, the invisible epidemic. What exactly is food insecurity? So food insecurity is simply not having access to sufficient food or enough food to meet one's basic needs. We have found that nationally, 1 in 3 students, or 33% of students, are food insecure. At 2-year colleges, students are actually 48% of students are actually food insecure. So how are our students at UC Blue Ash actually being affected? So again, nationally, 48% of 2-year college students could be food insecure. But at UC Blue Ash, only 4% of our students are actually getting the help and the support that they need from the Bearcat Pantry. So why is that? Why aren't our students getting the support that they need?
That's because there's a shame and stigma that some students have facing just saying that they might need something. There's some students just distrust institutions, and some students are just embarrassed to say that they might be in need of something. And with the Bearcat Pantry that we have here, we're trying to reduce that stigma or destigmatize the stigmatization that they have to kind of just, get them to know that, it's okay to need something and it's okay to say that you are in need of something. And by using the Bearcat Pantry, you guys can just go in and get whatever you need without any questions asked. But the students who have been at the Bearcat Pantry, this is some of the stuff that they've said about it.
So students have said that the Bearcat Pantry is very generous, respectful, they're very grateful for it, and it's also a safe spot. And as student ambassadors, we're extremely grateful that students have found a place at UC Blue Ash that is a safe spot, so that they can come to the Bearcat Pantry, get the food they need, and not have to worry about where their next meal is going to come from without any judgment.
But this is more than a pantry. This issue, this stigmatization that students have, or the need for something but not being able to say it's more than just a pantry. This is a big situation, and the school is doing a lot of different things. Past events that we've had is Taco Tuesday Kids, our PJ breakfast, our first annual open house, and then we've also had just break bags that we give out for holidays like summer or just anything like that. And then some upcoming events that we have is our second annual open house, and then we also have our college day breakfast to kind of just raise awareness to that situation.
So please take a moment and read two of the testimonials that we received from two of the students at UC Blue Ash who have used the pantry. But at this time, we want to talk about our personal experience with the Bearcat Pantry. So Will and I, we served as student orientation leaders over the summer, and we used the Bearcat Pantry to get a snack or get a meal to get through the very long orientations that we had. And I grew up using the Fairfield Food Pantry, and it's not the same as the Bearcat Pantry. It was never as stocked or as clean or as organized as the Bearcat Pantry is. So it really is refreshing to come to UC Blue Ash and have a pantry that is stocked and organized and clean for our students to be able to use.
And me personally, I had a meal plan last semester, but the meal plan doesn't go into summer. So, I'm new here. I didn't have a job. I didn't know how I was going to afford to pay for the food that I needed for summer. So I was graciously given a summer break bag that, lasted me a long time. So I'm just very gracious for that. So how can you guys help? There are many ways that you guys can help. One of the ways you guys can help is by scanning the QR code. If you're clearly inclined, you guys can donate whatever you guys are willing to. And then you guys can also volunteer. You guys can just refer students. So if you hear any students talking about maybe just being in need of something, you can refer students to it or add it to your syllabus. You know, the syllabus is an important role in the classroom, so maybe add it to your syllabus or become a service learning partner for the UC Bearcat Pantry. And then we also have later today, could you guys, if you guys can, visit the Bearcat Pantry, see it for yourself. And then we have these reusable bags that you guys can just carry with you to like the store or something. If you guys are buying groceries or something, you can put it in here and then kind of just donate if you can.
So as students, we really want to thank you for your support that you've done thus far. We want to continue our mission here at the Bearcat Pantry, and to do that, we need your support. So please scan the QR code, and you can donate directly to our Bearcat Pantry, and also take a moment and read some of the things our students have said about the Bearcat Pantry. They're so grateful, and they hope others use it, and that it's a great resource here at the college, and they're so glad that we have it here. So again, thank you for your time, and please stop by the Bearcat Pantry and grab one of these fun little bags. And also, when you're going around to classes and you're walking around campus, please have these bags with you. Just get rid of the stigma and any feelings that students may have about coming to the Bearcat Pantry that is negative, because we want people to be able to come to the Bearcat Pantry if they really do need food and not have to worry about any judgment. Thank you.
Great job, Liz and Will. Can you imagine giving a talk in front of all of your professors when you were in college? I don't know. That's pretty impressive. So thank you for your work for our students and also for talking to us today. Appreciate it. We have a busy program, so I want to keep things moving. Please note that we have a catered lunch after our program and breakout sessions. Lunch will be served out in the Commons. It features a Mexican buffet from Funky's Catering, along with those awesome gourmet cupcakes from Abbey Girl Sweets. So I hope you're able to join us after the two excellent professional development presentations. One of those is discussing artificial intelligence, and the other is supporting neurodiverse students. And you can see the details for breakouts in your program. If you're joining online, you've been emailed the agenda that has information about the breakouts too. They will not be offered online in real time, but you will be able to access recorded versions of those sessions after the fact. Next, I would like to invite Associate Dean Tracy Herman to the stage to provide her updates on academic affairs.
Thank you, Robin. I've got to move this microphone down just a little bit. So welcome back. I know Robin's already welcomed everyone, but I just want to give everybody a big hug. So happy to see everyone back here today. And, you know, we've got traffic now, so beware of the traffic circles as you come in, go, and make sure that everyone's careful there. I did want to share that Robin has inspired me to be a memer. I just made up that title. So we have a little cat theme here. I hope you enjoy my memes. Okay. So we're welcoming our baby Bearcats back today. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of data on the baby Bearcats that we have coming, but also some of our current students as well. Sounds like you enjoyed that one. Here are our numbers that are coming in for 23 fall semester. And I want to thank Steve Miller for helping me with some of my data points there. I really appreciate that. Are you here, Steve? All right, thank you. You can see here that we're trending up a little bit, as Robin indicated, in our enrollment for fall 23, up a little bit on both our new students and also on all of our UC Blue Ash students. Not much difference in between our part-time and full-time students, but we do see that our males are coming back a little bit more. We got a little bit of an increase in our male student population, and the age just really looks like it's staying about the same. I do want to thank all of our department chairs. They've been working hard all summer, making sure that we're going to have courses for students, and we've had a really great last-minute push. Our last orientation will be tomorrow. And I know a lot of people are very thankful and excited about that. So thank you, chairs, for all you're doing to help us meet the needs of our students. Here's our fall to fall retention data. You see in the top there, we've got fall 21 to fall 22. And then in the second point there, we've got 22 to 23 retention. And you can see that we're up just a little bit there, about 1.2% higher than last year. Here's our new 2023 fall new student profile. Couple of not big changes here, but you can see high school GPA is about the same. The ACT is about the same. But we do see a little bit of a downturn on the placement for college level math and college level English. And then here's our demographics of our students as they're incoming. I think the biggest changes that I saw were in the 2 or more races. We're up a little bit there. We're also up a little bit more in our Hispanic or Latino students. That's good. That's one of our goals for our strategic planning here. So it's good to see that. Up a little bit for our Black African American students. And so you see that we continue to increase the diversity of our student population here at UC Blue Ash. All right, our international and our veteran students are indicated here. International stayed pretty flat, but also you see a pretty significant jump in our veteran students. I thank our staff there. Jimmy is out there, and I know we've got a lot of support there, so thanks everyone for that work. And I just thought that map was hilarious. Does anyone else? Okay, it's funny what you find when you spend an hour Googling cat memes. So I know a lot of us are interested in how we compare to some of our other sister colleges and how we provide our courses and what mode and format that we use. So pulled some of this data here from a Tableau website that has this information on it. You can see, and what this is representing is each enrollment in each course. So that's why the numbers are very large. So it's each student enrolled in each course and how they're distributed. You can see that if you look at the percentages for the in-person and like the DL 100% and kind of compare those, if we notice that ANS has about 76% in-person, about 20% fully online courses. Claremont has about 18% in-person and about 78% fully online courses. And we're kind of in the middle. And as Robin mentioned, I think we're in a good place there. We provide a nice balance for our students. We should always be considering what might be best for our incoming class and what we should be doing for them. But I think we're in a kind of a nice balanced area there. You will notice that Claremont has 159 students that are enrolled in HighFlex classes, and those are classes that are held both simultaneously in person and online. It gives students more flexibility. We're going to be looking into some more opportunities for that here at UC Blue Ash, and as Robin mentioned, we'll have 3 classrooms that will be ready for that. I'm pulling together a group of faculty to take a close look at this and potentially propose some HighFlex courses for spring semester. So if you have an interest in looking at the HighFlex format, please let me know. Just send me an email and we'll get you involved in that group. We're going to do a learning circle through the Learning and Teaching Center. So as I thought about online courses, I remembered on the left here what some of my students looked at like when I required them to turn on the camera. Has anyone experienced this? And then I was very excited about this meme because it's a bear cat. So, and you know, we all wonder what's a bear cat sometimes, but our biology folks can certainly explain that to you. But they smell like popcorn. Has anyone been around one? It's incredible. You need to get close to one sometime because they absolutely smell like popcorn. Okay, here are our top program enrollments for fall 23. You see our pre-health professions and pre-business administration are flip-flopping between our new students and all of our students. So those are our top 2 programs right now. Exploratory is 3rd for our new students, but I was happy to see that it wasn't one of our top majors for all of our students, because that means that these students are finding their way, they're finding their majors that they're going into. You also see we have big growth in pre-engineering. Pre-engineering is at the top of the list here for both new and all of our students. And thanks to Anna and our math, physics, and computer science department, because they're providing some new engineering courses in cooperation with the College of Engineering and Applied Science this fall and in the spring as well. So we're excited about that. Also, our pending vet tech numbers are up. You can see that with new students. That's excellent. And then our IT program numbers are high for all of our students as well. So I do want to thank our advising team, our student life team. You can see how many students we have coming, and they've worked so hard over the summer to make all the orientations run smoothly and to make sure that all of our students got in courses. And one more tomorrow. Okay, I also want to recognize our faculty and staff that work with our honors students. Rob Gioli. Rob, are you here? We also have Eric Carrero, with honors. It's Katie. Katie, are you here? Yeah, Katie, who also support our honors programs. And then we have our 4 honors advisors who provide really great support for our honors students. You can see here we had 16 that graduated from our honors program this spring, and then we also had 12 that were accepted into the University of Cincinnati honors program as transition students. So that's very exciting. Some additional opportunities opened up for them this year. And then you see our total numbers here between 111 and 127. We're not sure yet. They're still enrolling in courses, but that's the number that we're expecting in the fall. So I want to thank all of you who provided honors experiences, study abroad, career services, undergraduate research, and more. Really great opportunities for these students. So think about whether or not you have some ideas for honors experience that you might provide for our students. And then we also had a study abroad trip that went this summer to Great Britain and Germany. And Rob Gioli and Jamie Albert, they took 24 students with them. And then these are our new programs that you see here listed that will be upcoming for summer 2024. And I want to thank Brian Hunter. He's continuing as our Director of Study Abroad, and Eric Carrero for supporting our Study Abroad program. And there are many, many faculty that are involved in this program, and thanks to all of them as well. Robin mentioned our new programs already, so I won't say too much more about them, but our healthcare support technician is going to provide a fantastic pathway for our students that don't get into their selective admissions programs. It's an alternate path, a parallel path as our advisors guide our students on, so that will be great. And we also have the artificial intelligence program. We are still waiting on the official Ohio Department of Higher Ed approval for that one. And then one that's also new this year, but it's kind of hidden because it's replacing 2 of our existing programs, is the Radiologic Imaging Technology Program bachelor's degree. It's a 3-year bachelor's degree, and it will replace eventually both our associate degree in radiologic technology and our bachelor's degree in radiation science technology. And so students are starting their first year in that program this year, and then they'll finish out their second and third years once they've been admitted in late spring. And is this AI meme funny? Because I wasn't sure if AI folks would think that was funny or not. Okay, real quickly, just a couple updates about our academic support team. We're changing some processes. Kristen Bruning and her team have been super creative in the way they're approaching the way that the academic support team supports academics. Sorry, a lot of repetition in that sense. But the first, you'll see on the left here, the academic support team is now going to collect requests for work through a link that will also be in the report that Pete's going to send out to everyone. I've got some links in there as well. But we're moving away from having individual program coordinators serve individual departments to more of a group, a team approach to supporting all of our departments. So the benefits of that are that we can distribute the work more evenly. We can make sure that everybody's cross-trained, that there's always a backup. Routine things can be made, normal and can be automated. And so there are a lot of benefits here that this new system is going to put in place. So anybody who needs to request something from the academic support team can use this link that you're going to be provided with to request whatever project or assistance that they need. And then another thing that's been automated more is the submission of syllabi. We really have struggled to get faculty to submit all of their syllabi in a timely manner. They're due within the first week of class. And Kristen Bruning has somehow, she's a wizard. I don't know if anyone's met her, but she figured out a way that you can submit a form with your syllabus attached to it, and it will automatically file it for us. So it's automating some of the work that our program coordinators spent a lot of time on. And then we also have just a couple quick learning and teaching center updates. I thought it was funny too, so thanks for laughing. I want to thank Brenda Rafai, Helene Hart, and Emma Farrow, our Learning and Teaching Center team, for all the great work they've been doing this summer to get ready for the new year. So, think about, what do I want to do with my teaching game here? Do I want to up it? Do I have questions? Everybody's available to help you. There's a Learning and Teaching Center Bearcat landing page that has been updated and is new, and you should have links to that from all the messaging that you've already been getting from the Learning and Teaching Center and from Emma. We also have a Canvas online teaching community that's built into your Canvas course, or you can request that shows up on your Canvas site. And then Emma will be having drop-in hours today, 1 to 4 p.m. for anyone that needs help. How do I copy my course? What did you forget since you've been gone over the summer? Wednesday, noon to 4, and Thursday, 3 to 5:30 p.m. So in closing, we've got this, right? We're ready. We've got Monday. Everyone's gonna be back. It's gonna be crazy. We're excited. Let's do this. We've got it. I meant to have my sunglasses in my pocket to put on here, but I forgot. So just here we go. No stress. We're just vibing. We're ready to go. And if you're not, I'm not either. Just found out I'm teaching a class. It's not ready yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there by Monday.
Thanks, Tracy. Our Staff Representative Council update is provided by Renee Barnett, our IT support specialist, but Renee is busy working behind the scenes, and so she has a little presentation with her updates.
Morning, everyone. Just wanted to give a quick update on the Staff Representative Council. Staff Representative Council, or SRC, acts as a liaison between the staff, dean, UC administration, faculty, students, and community. 9 members each represent a group of staff departments. SRC representatives are responsible for giving their groups details about SRC activities, development opportunities, policy changes, and other important staff-related issues. Currently, our Staff Representative Council officers are myself, Renee Barnett, as the chair. I represent the IT service desk, the library, media communications, and technology departments. Chris Jacan is our vice chair, and he represents the multicultural affairs department and student life. Colin Craig is our treasurer, and he represents the math lab, the writing and study skills center, the foreign language lab, and the science learning lab. Trish Jansing is our secretary, and she represents business affairs, human resources, administrative support, and communications. We currently have a group that does not have a representative that we will be filling next month. We're working on that. But that group is enrollment services, admissions, TRIO, and testing services. Melissa Jetro represents the advising department. Bobby Runyon represents nursing, biology lab, chemistry lab, dental hygiene, and the vet tech. Emma Farrow represents academic affairs, academic student affairs, and academic support. Austin Holt represents accessibility resources, facilities, and safety and security. So you might ask, what does SRC do? SRC is responsible for the elections to nominate staff to serve on 3 multi-constituent college committees, Building and Grounds, Diversity and Inclusion, and the Technology Committee, as well as staff to serve on the Staff Social and Wellness Subcommittee. SRC is also responsible for administering UCBA staff professional development funds, which can be used to attend a conference, seminar, or a professional exam. And if you're interested in that and applying for these funds, you can complete a application on the SRC Bearcats landing page. And later today, we'll be sending out an email with a link to that so it's easier to find. We also handle the nominations for our 3 staff awards that are given out each year. 23 staff award recipients are Chuck Jones and Jason Zimmer for the Staff Distinguished Service Award, Lainey Ipsa for the Staff Student Centered Service Award, and Hannah Thompson with the Rising Star Award. Staff representatives for this academic year on UCBA committees are as follows. Hannah Thompson and Kristen Bruning are on Building and Grounds. Lori Malone and Tracy Davis are on the Diversity and Inclusion Committee. And Amanda Purnell is on the Technology Committee. We are in need of new representatives for each committee for the upcoming year. If you are interested in serving in this role, please be on the lookout for an email that will come out later this week. There are a few important updates staff should be aware of. First, all eligible unrepresented staff who were employed at UC before April 1st received a 3% salary raise that was effective July 1st. Also, our staff development funds. In the past, it was only $250, but you can now apply for $300. And finally, our Staff Social and Wellness Subcommittee is currently looking for members. These are the members who will do things like organize the fall luncheon, the adoptive family luncheon, spring luncheons, and all the other really fun events that we have for staff. Remember, if anybody ever has any questions about SRC, please do not hesitate to reach out to your representative or to myself as the chair. Thank you.
And next, Joe Gallagher will join us to represent the Faculty Executive Committee.
Hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joe Gallagher, and I'm going to be chair of the Faculty Executive Committee for this year. I'm here just to give you a couple quick updates that are relevant for the faculty. Pretty much just 3 items. The first one, I wanted to put the names of the members of the committee for this year and kind of use that as a backdrop to say, please reach out to us. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if there are resources that you think we could help you out with on exec, please come talk to us, send us an email. You can see us in the halls, you can see us at department meetings. So these are the members of the committee for this academic year. There we go. These are the members of the executive committee for this academic year. The second thing I wanted to talk about, the faculty meeting modality. We're moving back to in-person this year. I want to impress upon everybody that this was a decision that was not made lightly. It just seemed that with both spread and hospitalizations for COVID-19 being relatively down, both nationwide and regionally, it seemed like the time was right. But I also wanted to further assure everybody that we're going to keep an eye on things, and if we need to move back online, this body has shown that we can do it, and we won't hesitate to go back online if we need to. okay? Our first faculty meeting is going to be next Thursday, August 24th. I sent out a call for agenda items on Friday. So if you have anything you want to get on the agenda, please let me know by 5 p.m. this coming Friday. Let's see. The last thing is actually not on here, but I do want to point out that there was a document that was circulated by Brenda Rafai right around the start of the meeting. This was a document that was put together by the University General Education Committee. This is a committee on which Brenda sits. Basically, the document seems to be a guiding document for FYE courses. They're going to be voting on this document at their meeting in October, but she wanted to bring it to our attention so that we could discuss and vote on it at our faculty meeting as well. So I just want to encourage everybody. It's also going to go out with the materials for next week's meeting, but I wanted to kind of get it to you ahead of time so you had time to review it, particularly if you teach FYE courses. Okay, so please review that document. If you have any questions or comments before the meeting, you can send them to Brenda. But other than that, that's all I have for you this morning. So good luck preparing your classes in this last week, and good first week of classes, I hope.
Good morning. Okay, so this isn't really Canvas updates. I'm actually going to talk about the research study that we completed this past year that had to do with Canvas. My name is J.A. Carter, or Jen Carter. My pronouns are she, her. I'm an associate professor of sociology and your former Canvas leader as of 10 hours and 13 minutes ago. Not that anyone is counting except for Emma Farrow. And big shout out to Ruth as well, who also is now free. So I was brought in as Canvas leader to help get us from Blackboard to Canvas. You all did an awesome job. Thank you so much. You did a great job learning Canvas, and then in spring of 2020, our first full semester, nothing crazy happened. And you all did a great job adjusting to that non-craziness. So thank you so much for the hard work you've put in. Since we made that transition, last year we decided that we thought it would be a good idea to really kind of gauge where we were in that process of transition. We've gotten through the kind of early growing pains. We know the basics. So now we wanted to see where we were, and we thought the best way to do that would be to talk to our students and see how they were using Canvas. And so that's what we did. We did a research study on that. I brought Lori Wartilko onto the project. I'm not sure where she is, but onto the project, as well as Taylor Wadian. Lori has experience with user experience research from her time in marketing, and Taylor is a survey guru. If you're ever looking for survey help, he is your guy. And so they came onto the project, and then we thought if we were researching students, it probably made sense to have some students, and so we brought 3 student researchers onto the project. So if you see any of those 3 students, Ryan, Lauren, or Brandy, please give them a thank you for helping us with that research. So what did we do? We asked a really broad question: how do our students use Canvas? And we did a pilot in the fall doing some focus groups. We had 24 participants in that pilot, and then that helped to determine what actual study we were going to do, which we did in the spring. We did 2 different things. We did focus groups and had 15 student participants in that, and then we did an online survey and had 366 participants in that. And that's right around 8 to 9% of our overall student population, so we felt like that was a pretty good response rate, all things considered. And of those students, 92% of them were UC Blue Ash students. So we're talking about most of the students that answered that survey were Blue Ash students. So I want to just share some of the findings. I know we're running low on time, so Robin will kick me off whenever she's ready to kick me off. But I'll try and get through as many of those kind of overall findings as possible. The first thing that we learned is that how we use Canvas really matters to our students. They are seeing real differences in the courses from faculty member to faculty member. And remember, they have 4 different courses every semester or somewhere around there, and so they're getting 4 different looks in Canvas if they have 4 classes, and that is really challenging for them. So anything that we can do to help them understand our specific course better is going to really help them in the long term. because the way we organize is going to be different than the way our colleague organizes. And so really helping them out with understanding our course is really important. You can see there's a couple different quotes up here having to do with things. I'm not going to read them, but you can see that our students are just indicating that there is a difference between us and what we're doing, and that really is affecting their learning and the quality of the course that they're getting. And so it's really helpful if we all do some of the same things. And so here are some of the things that our students say are beneficial to their learning. The first is dates. And I know Ruth and I have been saying this a lot, and you're probably sick of hearing us say it. So here our students are saying it. Our students really, really want dates in Canvas. It really helps them. One of the quotes that I didn't put up here that came from focus groups is there was a whole conversation about the fact that during the pandemic, we had more things online, so more dates were in Canvas, which meant their to-do lists and their calendars had more things on them, and they got really used to that. And then we went back to in-person classes and we stopped putting dates in, and now they can't use that same functionality that they had before. And so they are really craving that we put dates in for them. 86.4% of our students said that dates are helpful, but 76% strongly agreed with that. So we're talking about a large portion of our students that really think this is helpful to their learning. I know it's tedious, I know it's painful on the front end, but there are ways that you can make that easier for yourself and help yourself. So here are a couple of things to keep in mind. Anytime you add an assignment, you can add a due date. If you go in and add all your assignments without dates, you can then go to the assignments page, and up in the top right corner, there's that 3 little dots, kebab. Click that and you can add all of your dates all at once. The to date, the from date, and the due date all can be added at that same time. If you're copying a course from one semester to the next, you can use the adjust event and due dates, and that will allow Canvas to make the due date switches for you. Will it get everything right? No, especially if you're going from fall to spring or spring to fall. If you're going from fall to fall, it'll do really well. But it will give you a place to start, and then you can just go in and adjust as you need to in the assignments section. A lot of students reported that old dates were in their Canvas courses, and that was even more confusing. So getting rid of those old dates, making sure that you're remembering to update dates is really important. And then the last thing, and apologies to Emma, because I warned her up front that I'm going to keep doing this, but Emma Farrow can also help you with your dates. And she can actually make the date changes for you, or at the very least assist you and give you support and teach you that. And the last thing I want to mention is to-do list. In terms of the to-do list, you can add a page to the to-do list as well. So, for example, I have all my readings on one page. At the bottom, you can check a box that says to add it to the to-do list and then put a date. So for example, for my readings, they're all on one page. I check that box, make that on Monday, and so then it's going to pop up on my students' to-do list that on Monday they need to do those readings on that page. Does it mean they will read? No, but it does mean that they will see that there is something to do on that day, which increases the likelihood that they will click on that and perhaps read. Okay. What else? Use modules. 82.4% of our students had a strong or moderate preference for modules over pages. However, this is why we do quantitative and qualitative research, because in the focus groups and in the we had one qualitative open-ended box on the survey where they could say anything they wanted to. What our students really told us is they don't actually care if you use modules or pages. What they want is chronological order. They want to see things in the order in which it takes place in the course. What they really struggle with is if we have an area for readings and an area for PowerPoints and an area for assignments, and then they have to go and search for everything that they need for the first week and everything they need for the second week or everything they need for Tuesday and everything they need for Thursday. What they really want is that chronological order, because that's how their mind is working in terms of what they need to get from one day to the next. So it really doesn't matter if you're using modules or pages, as long as you're using an organized, consistent structure and hopefully in some kind of chronological order. And you can see what our student is saying here, right? I like the modules. Like, give me some chronological order with some dates on that, and I'm set. And that is really the key. It's not really about modules or pages. It's about that chronological order. It just helps them through that. The other thing that's really challenging for our students is if we use announcements for everything. So if you put all your stuff into various announcements, they have to go back in and try and find it in the announcements, and that's really hard for them. So announcements are great, but use the assignments function, use the pages and the modules to help organize the material so students don't have to go searching for it. That's really what they think is important. And that brings me to this. Minimize the number of announcements that you're sending to our students. In good news, 71% of our students say they are reading the announcements always or most of the time. This is great. This means this is a really effective way to communicate with our students. However, don't send too many because the more you send, the less likely they become to read them. So here's a student quote. You know, they email us announcements about everything, so it just comes like 20 times a day, so I don't read it. And so what they told us in the focus groups and in the qualitative survey portion is the more announcements you send, the less likely they are to read them, but also the less likely they are to read the announcements from other faculty as well. So be really intentional. Think about when you're going to send those announcements and why you're going to send it. And then the last kind of technical part is as soon as you hit save, it sends the email to the students. So use that delay posting button at the bottom to make sure that you've included everything that you need to include before you hit save. Once that email sends, if you make an update, it will not send a second email, which is good and bad. It means it's not going to overload them, but it also means if they've already looked at the email, they're not going to see anything that you've adjusted or added. Post your grades in Canvas. Students want to be able to follow along. There's a function called What If in Canvas grades that allows students to put in a hypothetical grade to see where their overall grade goes. They love that. They love it. We can't see it, they can see it, they love using it. Please put your grades in there so that they can see where they are in the course. And then last, just a couple minor little things here that I'll add. 27% only look for feedback and submission comments. If you are putting comments in a rubric or into the actual paper itself, make sure you're telling students that, but also emphasize why feedback is important because they don't understand why they need to read it. If they get a good grade, they're not going to read the feedback. They told us that. If they get a really bad grade, they're not going to read the comments because they're worried about what you're going to say. So just emphasize to them the importance why it's good to look at that feedback. Students think the Canvas inbox is a texting service, not email. So if you're getting single line messages from them through that without their name or your name, that's why they think they're texting you. Take with whatever you want with that. And last thing, students really like Canvas, so please use it. And if you need help, the support hours are there again. And Emma's going to be doing Canvas and coffee before every faculty meeting in the LTC at 12:30. Come have some coffee before the faculty meeting and learn about a function in Canvas. My swan song, I now leave you with Emma.
Great job, Jen. Those are really important updates, and it's important that we listen to students to see what they're actually doing with the tool rather than just what we think they should be doing with the tool. So thank you. Before we look ahead to the coming year, it's nice to look back on some of the highlights from last year. So thanks to our communications department for providing this year in review. normally at this time I give a state of the college little charge, but I don't know how much motivation we need that other than seeing the video of all the amazing things that we've accomplished last year. I want to remind you of our strategic plan and the themes in our strategic plan. There are certainly action items under each of these themes. Number one is improve student success, and we will always be working on that. Expanding our high-quality, accessible, online, flexible, and in-demand programs, growing opportunities with businesses in the community, K-12, partnerships and other partnerships, and then finally, developing a more diverse, inclusive, and equitable campus. All of those things are our top priorities. Rather than go into my little motivational speech, I'm going to go ahead and instead use this time to let you take your break before we do our professional development sessions. I do have a little talk though, and I'll record it and send it out just in case you're interested in what I've been reading about and thinking about this summer.